project has been going on for 3 years in this factory. It was Vincent Navy who brought, it was just accepted. So when he started as professor and he needed the research assistant, so then I joined, so we went to the kickoff meeting. And later on, and then Wendy, 2 months later, Wendy Tan joined us. And then Adriana, 2 months later, as a student assistant, but somehow, because we had the second meeting in Delft, she started to do much more. Suddenly she got also very involved in the content of the project, so not like assisting us, but she also became like a researcher. And then when Wendy quit, we had Alex came together with Kim van Kloosteren. They were put to help with the case studies, and then Alex also to finish the work package, the knowledge management, and also to be involved in the dissemination part of it, the dissemination work package. So that was how it started. But what is RUFUS? So what is it exactly? And the background start with the CAP, what you call the Common Agriculture Policy document in Europe. For those who don't know what it is, it's a sort of document that started in the 1960s, so like how to make policy for a common European market. But it was mostly focused on agriculture. But now what we've seen the last year is a sort of shift, not only focus on agriculture, but also about rural development, like in a broader sense, that you take into account sustainability matters, ecological matters, social cohesions, and a lot of other activities, because it's much more complex. And what does it mean? It means like the various sectors on a regional level, national level, EU level. It means when you are much more broader than agriculture, it means that the various policy sectors have to interact much more intensively, like in. So that was the background from the project. So what does the RUFUS project do? It's just first investigating the interaction of policies in rural areas, and also look at the interaction across sectors and also across governmental use directions, and also like vertical and horizontal, geographical, and just look at how is it happening at that level. And what the project does is to seek to understand like what are the effects when you have a sort of combined policies between sectors, and also to scope the more integrated policy to address like the endogenous potential in rural areas. So that was the background. And here to explain how, for those who are not been in, sort of what is a 7 framework project, it has a consortium, and the lead participant is from the University of Hanover, and it is Professor Christina van Haar and Sylvia Hermans. They are really doing the organization and coordination of the whole project. And then we have the rest of the consortium. So we have Marc Bonnet from Institut National de la Recherche Agricole from Nancy, Vincent from the TU Delft, lead from the TU Delft team. And we have the Swedish team with Ann-Kathrin Bäcklund from Lund University. And then we have also Wageningen, we have from the University of Wageningen, Peter Verber. We have Andrew Loglet from the University of East Anglia. He is from Newcastle. I was confused to play that. Yes, Norwich. Yeah, Norwich. And then we have Sebastian Elby, is a sort of small enterprise, sort of consultancy, also from Germany. And then we have our European Commission contact person, Pia Laurera. And here you see like the time we got, but we got some extra extensions. So the project is more or less finished. The draft of the final report is there. We're just still fine polishing it. And there's the funding scheme. It's a sort of social economic science project. And a humanities project, like a collaborative project. And here we have the budget. A lot of money, to say so. Let's look at the number. And the project objective, to say very shortly, to understand how policy regimes interact in rural areas, and also to link these policy regimes to different types of rural areas, and also to integrate the social dimension into the analysis of rural change, and also to that we didn't do so much to communicate the nature of rural change through scenarios, so 2 or 3 case studies dealing with that, is that right? And to include the experience of local stakeholders, and to derive policy recommendation. How is the research structure on this project? Is like the work package 1 with everything. It's done by Hanover, University of Hanover. TU Delft is the lead participant of the knowledge management package, which is about policy integration, and we're looking at various concepts, and somehow we did input for the next work package, which is trying to define typologies of rural areas. One package will really dealing with scenarios, looking at potentials in various types of rural areas, and also we have to do case studies. This was led by the Lund University in Sweden, but every participant had to choose 2 case studies from their own countries. And this work pack typology was done by Hanover. This was done by
starting it together, scenarios with
Norwich, and the work package is Marc Bonnet from France. So
perhaps just to add, the partners are all from different fields. So we were the only spatial planners actually.
Yes.
The others were agronomists, sociologists. So Lund they are sociologists, if I'm right.
Yeah.
The French were agronomists. From Hanover are landscape planners. Yeah. So we had a really interdisciplinary, which is the nature of this program.
It seems like the more broader a project is, the more interdisciplinary, the larger chance for getting funded, but also the more difficult and hard to do it, because in terms of scientific method, it's like we get the first time we try what does it mean to use much more a broader sociological approach on a very large scale, and also like to deal with science and also linking into practice. So that was the project. And we started very early, and that was the knowledge management work package. We need to look at some concepts to see what is said in the literature, and we're dealing policy integration, multifunctionality, territorial capital and potential, and rurality. And we just split it up in the teams. So when they started with the multifunctionality, didn't see how the policy integration, put his experience in that. Somehow they put me into that, and that thing will...
And you became the expert.
Yeah. They put in a rural theory, because I did my PhD at the Agricultural University of Norway, but I was doing urbanism there. So like, you do this, like... So that was, and to say very... Yeah. No. And when we started first with the policy integration part, we started first to look at, if you see this change in the common agriculture policy, what about really the EU sectors, the DGs, the French word, what is Directeur Général? We had 4 we were looking at. The one was the DG Agriculture, the DG Rural, the DG Transport, and the DG Environment. So we look at the policies. Are they approaching a sort of, do they conflict, or are they complementary to one another? We also went to sort of national world organization like the National Food Organization, look at this and see, and did a sort of